My husband and I came to Block 11 years ago. I started out in Block's day shelter for women, Weightless Anchor. One weekend, me and another one of my people that worked at Weightless Anchor, a friend of mine, we went to a seminar about fighting sex trafficking, and they were saying, what do you think the #1 reason is that girls or boys are susceptible to sex trafficking? And it was like the choices were sexual abuse at home, abuse at home, or neglect. I figured it was one of the abuse ones. And when I found out that it was neglect, I was like, oh wow, that's almost good news, because we don't have to know what's going on in the home. You can stand in the gap of neglect. What if we just created a space where girls got connected? And that helped them not come into this house, not need to. So that was the idea for Girls Wanted.
Home for me, it was always just me and my mother. We mainly held the ground for our household because I was the oldest and my mom is a single mother. So I always had to carry the weight of responsibilities of taking care of my mom's kids while she worked and kept the roof over our heads. I was a freshman at Whaler. I had a friend of mine named Brianna, and she had brought me to this arts building after school one day, and I literally walked in the door and I did not know what was going on. I'm like, okay, I just see a bunch of teenage girls in here. Miss Lisa, she of course welcomed me in. Like, here's a notebook, write, we want to know more about you, thank you for coming.
This is the place for you to be a little girl again. This is the place for you to just know that you're loved and you're wanted, and it's a place to connect with each other. You're stronger that way. It's a place to connect with female role models, and it's a place to connect with God.
I knew it was definitely a safe place because of how welcoming everybody was, even the girls. And Brianna bringing me here, it was like, okay, I like this. And I stayed here throughout my whole high school years up until I graduated.
We just take the girls as they are. It's not my goal to just make you a good person, That's not what I care about. I care about you knowing Jesus,
Lisa would write a note in our notebooks and let us know, I seen that you were down today. I'm praying for you. Always know God is here for you. And just the little things like that were helping me move forward.
Ayla was always a deep thinker, and she took a lot of things to heart, but it's hard to walk the righteous path. Recently, she got into a little bit of trouble. She was basically tricked into it, and she ended up in jail.
So I got caught up at a moment with the wrong people at the wrong time, and did not know how serious the situation was until I got arrested at home. So I was always in my head beating myself up as far as how did I get myself in this situation trying to help somebody else?
But she, had a wake-up call, and I think a renewal spiritually, and just she knew who she could reach out to. She started going back to church. She started listening to sermons online and taking mass notes, and she just blossomed in that way. And that's how God is. He's not on the timeline that we're on. I want to see it. I want to see it now. And he says, these are the seeds that you're planting, and others are planting along with you. I'm watering all the way and bringing the increase. I know that the longevity is so important to these girls because their lives can get upended in a moment. Some of them have lived in 5 different houses since I've known them, Some of them have just had family change up, And so to have something consistent, so many times the girls have said this is like a second home to them. And so I want to be that solid place.
It means a whole bunch to me because, again, I don't have that family. So I had to build my family, and building my family was with Block Ministries. So just feeling important and knowing I was loved and could come down a mess or could come fixed, they were gonna love me either way. They just wanted to know I was still seeking God and that will forever be with me.